It was meant to be a peaceful night, a quiet evening in just three friends, no big plans, no drama. The house stood eerily still, its old walls seemingly guarding the secrets of the night. No one expected anything out of the ordinary, but then a single phone call shattered that calm, bringing with it a wave of fear none of them were prepared for. The call came from one of the friends, their voice trembling as they dialed their mum, trying to stay composed. But the tension was already creeping into their words. Mum? Something's happening. There was this loud crash, and we're all locked in the room now. You need to hurry home, but please, please, don't panic. The voice on the other end, trying to soothe the rising panic, said, I'll be home in 10 minutes, all right? But listen, keep the door locked. Do not leave that room. Stay calm. Just stay inside. Those 10 minutes felt like a lifetime. Moments before the phone call, the house had been disturbed by a noise so jarring it felt like the walls themselves had shaken. A crash, loud and unrelenting, echoed from the downstairs. It wasn't just a simple sound, it was something more terrifying, more final. Glass breaking, furniture shifting, and a deep, resonating thud that seemed to come from the bowels of the house. Then, as if to mock their attempts at rational thought, more noises started trickling in, like footsteps in the attic or metal scraping across the floors. Every corner of the house seemed to be alive with sounds they couldn't explain. The police were called. There was no question about it. They were sure someone had broken in. Hearts raced as they imagined an intruder lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce. The moments ticked by slowly, the silence between the noises just as unnerving as the chaos itself. When the police arrived, their presence brought a brief moment of relief. Surely they'd find the cause of all this. Surely there was a logical explanation. The officers, torches in hand, combed through every inch of the house. The friends watched from a safe distance, trying to hold their breath, hoping the nightmare would end. But the nightmare wasn't the noises. It was what they didn't find. No broken windows, no doors forced open, no footprints, no signs of entry, no evidence at all. The officers shrugged it off, chalking it up to the wind or perhaps an animal knocking something over. But the friends, huddled together, knew better. They had heard the glass shattering. They had felt the crash reverberate through the house. The police couldn't explain it, and they certainly weren't sticking around to figure it out. With nothing left to investigate, they left, offering a half-hearted, "Call us if anything else happens." But something had already happened. Later that night, as the friends sat together in the safety of one room, they reviewed the footage one of them had recorded during the chaos. They didn't expect to see anything out of the ordinary, maybe just shadows or flickers of movement they couldn't explain. But what they saw instead sent their hearts plummeting into their stomachs. In the footage, there it was, something moving, but not like a person, not like an intruder. It was something far more sinister. Behind the banister, a shadow drifted, eerily silent, almost weightless. It wasn't walking. No, it was gliding, floating even. A dark figure passed swiftly, barely visible, but there nonetheless. As they zoomed in, they realized the horror of what they were looking at. A face, pale, gaunt, and far too close to the ground for any human. Eyes, wide and hollow, staring blankly ahead. A mouth, half open, twisted into something that resembled a grimace, as if it had seen far too much for far too long. This wasn't something they had noticed in the moment. No, they had been too consumed by the noises, by the panic. But now, seeing it up close, It was unmistakable. They weren't alone in the house that night. The eerie, floaty motion of the figure sent shivers down their spines. It was too smooth, too unnatural, like it was gliding through the air without touching the ground. It was almost like it had been watching them, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. If only they had seen this before the police arrived, what would the officers have thought then? Would they have believed them? Or would they have dismissed it just as they had done with the noises? Now the house seemed to grow colder with every passing minute. The friends could barely breathe as they watched the footage over and over again, hoping it was a trick of the light or just a glitch in the camera. But no, the figure was there. It was real. And the face, oh, that face, it lingered in their minds, haunting them even after they had stopped watching. They were too terrified to stay any longer. The friend who lived in the house grabbed his dog, hastily packed a bag, and was out the door faster than they could think. Whatever had been there, whatever they had caught on camera, it wasn't something they wanted to face. They couldn't shake the feeling that something had been watching them all along, lurking just out of sight, waiting for the right moment to show itself. To this day, the footage remains their only proof of that chilling night. No one has been able to explain it. No updates, no further sightings. Just a lingering fear that whatever was in that house might still be there, waiting,